Facilities in all the NBA, the beautiful Delta Center, Salt Lake City, Utah, where tonight the Nuggets take on the Jazz for the last time this year. Second half points, the Nuggets up by 34 at the break, lose the ball game by 4. An incredible comeback for Utah, the biggest in NBA history.
We'll come back here tonight. All right, the X factor for tonight's game, according to Steve, is going to be Jeff Hornacek. And he is always a key ingredient.
Well, Hornacek has always had a history of playing well against the
10-point lead still for Denver. This is the 5th turnover committed by the Nuggets there, that traveling on Kenny Smith. Stockton off to Hornacek. He's open. He is.
He's one of the best jump shooters coming off screens in the league today.
He shoots it quick, doesn't he?
Yes, he does. Real fine release, very quick.
Stephen Howard in there now for the Jazz. He picks up Johnson, dribbles off his foot. The ball is loose, picked up by Lane, kicks out the Hornacek. He fakes the 3, shot clock winding down. The ball knocked away. Russell.
Good defense by the Denver Nuggets. Very aggressive, active hands and feet, moving, deflecting the basketball, allowing.
Neil Ellis may have gotten away with a foul there. That's what Jerry Sloan was complaining about. 58-54, Denver back up by 4 here. 9:40 to play. We're in the 3rd. John Stockton up to 4 assists now in the games. He's got 3 in the period already. Beats Hornacek, but that's a foul.
Hornacek hit about 3 Nugget players with forearms as he went down the lane to set a screen. And the official right on the play makes the call.
Jerry Sloan, not much argument on that call.
Looking at the last moment for the ball to get to his hand.
Hornacek on the inbounds connects, and the Nuggets lead is cut to 1. The Jazz can come back, and they come back in a hurry. We found that out back in November. 8:10 left to go in the 3rd.
And the Blazer lead 3. Little John missed 18 games with that knee problem. Hornacek. Well, you got to get on him. And if you're defending Hornacek, you can't give him a breath. He's one of the top 3-point shooters in the NBA. Fight through. You got to hustle to get to Hornacek because they do a terrific job of setting screens for their men. They don't really have a lot of people who can break you down individually off the dribble. Hornacek, there he is. After he set the screen on the cross, popped out near the foul line and hit the little jumper.
A little subtle game within the game. He got pulled down the last time. After that jumper he stroked, looked right at Stacey Augmon and said, how you like that? Sabonis taking a look at his hand. He might have cut it on the net, but we'll check that.
Hornacek. And again, running off those baseline screens, freeing up a man in the corner, and that is Jeff Hornacek, and we're tied at 20 all.
The way the second quarter of play went for the Trailblazers. It looked like it was going to become a shootout between Hornacek and...
before he had total possession of the ball. But that's a young man's mistake, a rookie's mistake. He'll get out of that one. Hornacek. They lead it 51-50. So they've come back and outscored the Blazers here in the 3rd.
Now it's been 6 points for Hornacek here in the 3rd. That's put them on top, but he came into this game trying to be more aggressive offensively.
Damon shaking that right ankle as he was backpedaling defensively. Look at Hornacek, how quick he shoots. Quick he comes off that screen and hits it.
Well, he's got the glow. Whenever he's got the glow, he's looking to just turn and fire. A lot of times it's not even as though he's located the basket, but he's got it going right now.
Hornacek, Steve, with 22 points for the night and 11 in the 3rd quarter.
And Jeff Hornacek has been the hot hitter in this quarter. At the break, he had 11. Come back with 11 in this quarter. Had one of those kind of typical nights he has against the Trailblazers.
Walt Williams, Rasheed Wallace, Gary Grant, the 5 Blazers on the floor.
Non-shooting foul. Utah out of bounds. Hornacek maneuvers down the lane, tipped around. It's a block shot for LaFonso Ellis. Stockton out to Hornacek. Got a foul shot there. Ricky Pierce on him. Hornacek trying to maneuver. Shot clock 5. Malone whips it inside to Hornacek. That's a beautiful pass.
Can't relax against this team. They will cut and backdoor you. Malone, very good passer out of the post. Hornacek making a good decision, cutting to the basket. As you watch Hornacek right there. Good pass, good cut, good concentration. And I don't think Malone gets enough credit for his ability to pass the basketball.
Hornacek hits the free throw, so 10-8.
Screen to come open. Adam Keefe reached out and grabbed him. Official right there on the play as Hornacek comes back into the game. Best shooting team in the NBA as a team.
Nuggets can't get anything to go. Isley to Hornacek.
Putting on a clinic right now.
Jazz have made up 17 points in the third period. Denver calls a timeout. This is an explosive club that Dick Mon is up against tonight, and they're showing it here in the third.
And Dale Ellis with the great shot here, but there's a nice cut there by Hornacek to the basket.
So Isley getting a hoop. We're halfway through the fourth period. Heck of a game here tonight at the Delta Center. Hornacek got loose and scores again. 27 for Jeff Hornacek. 6-point game.
Well, 68% at the foul line in the series, but against the league, they're 77%. And here's Hornacek again, causing problems.
Well, very interesting personal duel going on between Stacey Augmon and Jeff Hornacek. Augmon trying to use his size and strength and being physical with them. Hornacek, he's a little fired up right now. He's coming right back at him, has a chance for 3 if he completes the free throw, shooting 89+%.
Augmon with 2 fouls will come out. And you can see that he is the man right here. And that this Jazz team is a pretty darn good free throw shooting ball club. Stockton. 1:40 to play in the half. Blazers in the community feature at halftime tonight. Hornacek jump hook on the run. And it's a 2-point lead. 43-41. Blazers giving the Jazz all they can handle.
3-point shooting. Stockton with that one. Hornacek rolls in a running hook.
And it all played by Cato. They double on him.
Hit on the shot clock.
Stockton scrambling. Back to Foster. Inside Hornacek. Nice pass by Foster. And he has impressed me with the way he's been able to pass the ball.
Get putbacks, get some big defensive stops for the Utah Jazz. Hornacek.
Nice fake. Hornacek. And now the Jazz have their biggest lead. 86-79.
Well, worse, the crowd is into it now, and Dunleavy wants to take a timeout.
And Mike Dunleavy and the Blazers call time with 3:47 remaining. 86-79 Utah.
The NBA's eyes to him, and perhaps what his talent might be. Hornacek, a big second half of play. It really hurt the Trailblazers. Total of 26 on the night.
Grant.
Kenny Smith with 8 off the bench, playing well again tonight. Malone. Irvin Johnson with it, feeds to Hornacek, and a foul.
This team is so good at making cuts to the basket, and when you have such a great passer down in that low block, commands the double team, it provides opportunity for easy baskets, cutting to the glass.
Points in the third quarter. The last time the Nuggets outscored 36-15. Tonight, 33-18. It looks just like it did on November 27th, doesn't it?
Yeah, it does, but the Nuggets just really put so much pressure on their defense because they couldn't score early in that third quarter, and that allowed the Jazz to really get some confidence, and Hornacek came out and scored early, about 3 threes in a row, and that really ignited the Jazz.
Rasheed Wallace, Kelvin Cato, and Brian Grant start in the front line. Stacey Augmon and Damon Stoudemire at the guards. They'll go the same way with Stockton, Malone, Hornacek, Greg Foster, and Adam Keefe.
What they can't allow the Jazz to do is get into a rhythm at the offensive end. You're going to get a foul. The crowd wanted and one as Hornacek threw it up, but they're going to say no.
Brian Grant on the foul.
Grant coming in, reaches. Hornacek continuation actually should have been and one, but they take it away.
So the score holds at 47-43. Jerry Sloan getting an explanation from Ken the Fonz Mauer. Karl Malone listening in. There's the Fonz backing out. Hornacek saying, come on, I deserved it. I worked for it. He's only got 11 points. And now the Fonz coming over and making an explanation to the official scorer. And Hornacek the line. Outstanding free throw shooter every year. makes the first. Jazz have been on fire since the All-Star break. Look at those numbers. 14-2 March, 22-3, 10 straight second games of back-to-backs, which is what this is. Losing to Seattle last night by 2.
There's some confusion with the officiating right here. They're saying he gets 2 free throws, and
well, he made the first. Karl Malone making sure that he understands the rules as interpreted by the officials. Bill Oakes and Kent Maurer. All right, so Hornacek will get ready to put it in play. The son of a coach, a walk-on at Iowa State. A nice college career and drafted by the Phoenix Suns. 47-45 is what we have. Blazers.
Advantage out of him. Cato stripped to the ball.
Out of bounds it goes, and there'll be a jump ball. That's an interesting call, Steve, by the official on the far side. That was Rashawn Michael. I guess he didn't get a real good look at it, so he calls jump, which I think is fair.
This ball is scrambling. It's knocked off of the hands of both Adam Keefe and Kelvin Cato right on top of it.
Oh, good call by Rashawn Grant with another big rebound. Gary Grant. Ryan Grant, grilled cheese, can't get to this rebound. Now Rasheed up at the high screen. Stoudemire with a man to beat, trailing on the play is Rasheed, knocked away by Ostertag. Hornacek's got it, knocked down on the play and shoved by the Trailblazers. This will go on Jermaine O'Neal. Hornacek got shoved and he inadvertently got poked in the eye.
This ball comes in and it looked like they got a good broken play going, and Hornacek reached in, knocked it out of Wallace's hand. Now it's just a scrum, and he finally gets control of it, and on the way to controlling the ball, got a finger in the eye from Jermaine O'Neal.
40.2 seconds remain here in the third. Blazers have been over the foul limit since the 2:27 mark, and the Jazz are over it right now also. They went over with a little over 1 minute remaining in the quarter. So they're going to get Greg Foster back in the lineup as soon as they can for Utah.
Karl Malone was looking to get that early break. He'd put his hand up on that last defensive series to let Jerry Sloan know he wanted to come out of the ball game, and he's been the reason that they've been able to get on top. Looking at his 13th point of the quarter.
25 for the night. 71-65. This is a tough way to make a living. Watch this. Ooh, and no rubber bumpers. The mascot took a header. Hornacek with 29 points. Boy, he's been tough on that 3-ball tonight. Hornacek was the X factor. We talked about it, and he has certainly delivered for them. And how about Damon Stoudemire? Hasn't he had a nice ball game here tonight? 22 points. Plus everything else that he does out there. 8 assists. And good to see him back healthy. Now we've got to get Sabonis healthy, and I've been looking for him on the bench and haven't seen him. Hornacek with 30. The Western Conference before the action tonight. Seattle idle, so Utah will move back into a tie for that top spot. The Blazers still looking at the Lakers the way things settle. By the way, out east,
low post, especially against guys like Greg Foster, and because they know they got the work cut out defending a guy like Karl Malone.
McDyess puts the ball on the floor and lost it. Had a history of that this year. Malone, front court, he's loose. It's blocked by Irvin Johnson.
Great play by Irvin Johnson. Doesn't happen too often against Karl Malone. Someone able to block his shot, especially in transition.
Ricky Pierce starting the night again for the Nuggets at the off-guard spot. He misfires. Long rebound. John Stockton. Playoffs in '93. He has not played in Utah since that day. It's been a long stretch.
Yes, it has.
Pierce trying to drive on Hornacek. Shot clock at 5. Over the head of Jackson out of bounds. Come the Nuggets again. Front court. Hammonds drives. Knocked out of his hands out of bounds by Hornacek.
Good run by Tommy Hammonds and a great pass again by Mark Jackson. Nuggets trying to get easy baskets in transition of the Utah Jazz, and talking about Hornacek and even John Stockton. They're allowing Malone to operate one-on-one, but they're making sure that John Stockton and Hornacek don't hurt them also.
And Mike, you mentioned something in the opening of the show, and that was second chance points for Utah. They get a lot of them tonight.
Malone to really carry this team on his shoulders, and he is capable of that.
Double team is Ricky Pierce. Got his shot. It just won't go for him tonight. Fonzo Ellis. Jackson making a three. Fonz will take a three. He still can't get one to go. 5 to shoot for Denver. Jackson. Through the lane. Hook shot. That's in their big lead. Who's it last touch by? Nobody. It's last touch by Kenny Smith, the official said. It is Utah's ball.
With a
Smith
Nugget.
and Jackson both arguing the case.
Yeah, Nuggets seem to be out of
Trail
sync.
by 8 as we start the fourth, which will do so when we come back. Smith again. Dice off to Smith. McDice and a steal. Hornacek played the passing lane and played it beautifully. Kenny Smith, wild reverse layup won't go. Hornacek the board. A hoop on the Jazz. I talked about Malone and Stockton on offense. They're a great defensive team too.
Yeah, they put a lot of pressure on you. They have a full court trap they like to institute. A lot of times like to do in the last 2 minutes of a quarter. You'll see them maybe tonight do that if they have to. But right now they have a pretty good lead. The trap is not something they might want to use right away.
Karl Malone. John Stockton, the NBA's all-time assists and steals leader, gets the give and go from Hornacek.
Anytime the ball
Count now, Utah leads it. Denver missed the first 4 now, made shots already. Still got a minute 10 in the first. Darvin Ham's going to come in for Denver. We haven't seen him in 2 games. Hornacek to Malone. Irvin Johnson's on rebound, grabbed Ostertag. Shot, no foul. Hornacek to Russell. By 3. We'll be right back. Jazz control the tap. Russell out jumps LaFonso Ellis. Jazz lead by 3. They trailed by 8 the halftime break. Malone. 18 for Malone.
Well, they're starting to feel it now. Malone and Hornacek.
Play number 1 coming up here for Jerry Sloan. Whatever that is. Stockton, or Hornacek gets it. Malone from the corner for 2. Ostertag Ellis. Nuggets catch a break there. Denver down 7. Here's a steal. Stockton, they're not going to catch him.
Turn the ball over against this team, and they make you pay in transition.
And Dick Mott is saying something like that to Alfonso Ellis. McDice double team, tapped away and a steal.
2 minutes remaining, 2 minutes.
Russell. Foul. Alfonso Ellis. It's 5 on Fonz.
Well, this is a tough part.
Games against the Utah Jazz, and Portland has to feed off of him and try to build around him. Quick cut, John Stockton.
4, Jazz 2. The foul charge to Greg Foster. He's their center. That's Karl Malone.
Well, leave doubt in your mind that playing here at the Delta Center is going to give them that little edge that normally carries them. It's a tough team to beat here in this building.
Rebound. Up they come, and so far the Jazz with 5 blocks in the game.
Most of the scoring right now is going to come from the guards. The big guys are going to have to feed off of somebody else and make a nice play inside for Ostertag.
That's yet to commit a team foul here in this second quarter. Jeff Hornacek is back.
They've done a very good job in really coming out and being the aggressors in the ball game, keeping the Utah Jazz from doing just that, being able to cut early in the ball game. And even though the Jazz are shooting the better percentage between the 2 teams, Portland has been able to dominate the
In comes out of the ball game. Augmon with 3 fouls so far. And Dunleavy talking to him, and again, there they go. They run that diagonal cut, Steve. They do such a good job of that. They set it up and give it right back to Little John, and it's 55-53 Portland. Ran deep. 58-55 Utah. They get the rebound. Hornacek, 12-year man, out ahead they go. Block shot on Malone, attempt by Calvin Cato. And here's his first 2 points of the game. Hornacek, quick feed inside Malone, lost the ball, and a foul called on Portland.
Calvin Cato with the push now with Cato.
It's not his man. Now they've got Augmon over on Russell, and they've got Walt Williams on Hornacek, and they run Williams. There's Hornacek off the curl, and the slip inside. There's Malone and foul. Boy, you saw that one coming. And that is on Rashid, and the penalty is in on both sides. Wallace has got 5. And the Blazers have 4:38 without Arvydas And now Rasheed in trouble, and Kelvin Cato will come back for Rasheed Wallace.
An example of being together for a long, long time.
Oster tagged the board. Jazz down by 4 with the ball. Hornacek spots up for 3.
He's the one guy that you don't want to get going from the outside. Hornacek, he can score a lot of points in a hurry.
Double-double. I mean, their numbers and their careers really are amazing when you get right down to it. Just incredible. Jazz with it to start the third period. Malone from Stockton. Hornacek a 3. Yes.
Tough combination there. Hornacek setting the screen for Malone and then popping open to the three-point line to shoot the long 3.
Hornacek 4 out of 5 from the floor. It's over here. If Union was a suburb of Salt Lake City, he took about 15 minutes to give me his answer. It was a yes or no question. Well, it's incorporated and it wasn't, and it was back then kind of a...
Give you the history.
He gave me the history of Union, Utah. Hornacek gets another 3, and the Nuggets lead cut to 3 here. Jazz back with the ball. 61-57 Nuggets lead. Hornacek a long 3. Got it again. Hornacek getting warmed up. 19 for him. That's 3 threes in the period for him.
Well, that's what you have to recognize.
By 2. Stockton off to Hornacek. McDyess is out on him. Jackson's guarding Ostertag. Hornacek a 3. Got it again. His 4th of the third period.
Well, Hornacek's one of those guys that when he gets it going, he can shoot it with range from anywhere on the floor.
Jeff Hornacek, 14 in the period. He had 8 at the break. He has 22 right now, leading the Jazz back, and they're up by 3, 65-62. One of the, as Mike mentioned, best pure shooters in the NBA, and showing it tonight. And now for tonight's key play of the game, brought to you by KeyBank. Tonight's key play of the game, brought to you by KeyBank. Mike?
Well, you take a look and see how far back he is behind the three-point line as he pulls up and shoots. And shots like that in the early part of the third quarter is what really sparked this Utah Jazz team.
Hornacek hit 4 threes in that third period. That was our key play of the game, brought to you by KeyBank. Conrad, and for Mike Evans, I'm Jerry Schemmel saying so long. Coming up next, Channel 2 News. Good night, folks, from Salt Lake City, Utah.
Tried to spin back and have had it taken away. Brian loves to come back to his middle of the lane from the right. And there's Hornacek.
9 in the quarter for Hornacek as he drops in that 3. And the Trailblazers have to reassert themselves. For the Trailblazers, the demise began in the third quarter with Jeff Hornacek leading the way. Hornacek, the X factor, has been huge for the Utah Jazz. Came out with the idea of redemption and is taking it out on the Trailblazers. He had 13 in the quarter, and the Utah Jazz came up with 28 points. The X factor has been huge for the Utah Jazz.
Karl Malone on the 2 free throws made by Portland after struggling at the line.
You hear Mike Dunleavy, he's telling his guys, trap the ball. All the Jazz want to do is use some clock and then get a score. Hornacek strikes for 3. 5 in the quarter for him.
Another 3 for Hornacek. And it honeycombs out with 41 seconds to play. 98-87 Blazers down.
Well, the Jazz and the Trailblazers know there are no 10-point plays, and with 11-point plays with 30 seconds to go, this one is over, and the crowd beginning to leave the Delta Center here.
Now the Blazers still
hold the ball.
And so the Jazz will win their 31st game of the year at home, and their 54th game of the year overall. They're 54-18. And the Blazers losing are 40-32. This score is really no indication of how hard and how well this Blazer team played tonight.